take it.
That is the big
some pretty good money
that
that
you
you're
really
all
gotta
waiting
build
for.
videos for the biggest number. Remember, you guys were all here for in 2021 or that biggest year of them all.
So you might be wondering what it's like to be a full-time YouTuber or streamer, or you might be wondering how much does a full-time YouTuber or streamer even make? Or you might really be wondering, why would someone go to 4 years of college and then decide to try to do YouTube for 2 years? And that's a great question. And today we're talking about all of those things. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's go. To understand the full scope of the story, we're gonna have to go back in time a few years to the beginnings of what is now SalvationsElite. So let's real quick turn back the clock. So I started posting videos back in 2013 in Black Ops 2. Got obsessed with the game, watched a ton of Nadeshot and Scump, and I was like, I need to post YouTube videos about Call of Duty.
YouTube, what is going on?
So much pain!
Into Black Ops 3 is where things really started picking up. Then that was going into freshman year of college when I kind of decided, all right, I'm in the dorm and I got a laptop going into freshman year of college. So I thought, all right, I can finally start editing videos. So after those tips videos in BO3 and starting to get my toes wet there, I did my first Learn from the Pros video in IW, which kind of took my love for watching NFL film. That was my first time I really saw videos get a few thousand views at a time. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. I can actually maybe do this. Then heading into World War II, I started doing more news videos. And at that time as well, junior year of college, I was looking for a practicum and I found a practicum with Major League Gaming after DMing Adam Apicella. And then I started reffing with them at events during World War II, Black Ops 4, and then even into like the COD League with Esports Engine at the start of the CDLs. Finally, we get to the point where it's now the spring of senior year. I'm back from working with the Ballers and I'm like, all right, I'm graduating with a degree in sports management. And so I thought, esports? It's sportsy, it's sports management, esports. Let's make it happen. I was like, yo, fam, parents, I think I can do this, but I definitely can't afford doing it right now unless I have your help. So I basically asked, I've got 10,000 subscribers right now. I mean, I'm making like what, a few $100s a year right now in 2019. So give me 1 year. Give me 1 year. Let's see what happens. See where I'm at in the spring of 2020, and we can make another decision from there. I'm gonna live at home after college. I'll be that guy, and then see what happens. They were really supportive, and they were like, all right, let's give it a go. And also during this time, I'm not only doing SalvationsElite, but I'm also doing a channel called Backseat Sports where we're talking about Nebraska football content and diving into all those Husker things. So that's kind of a channel on the side. I mean, there's a lot of things that I've done wrong. There's a lot of things I've done right or well, I guess. And we're somewhere in the middle, and it's still an ongoing process. So we're gonna talk some numbers here and the amount of money specifically I made, then some of the things I've learned throughout this whole process. May 1st, 2019 to May 1st, 2020. And being a full-time YouTuber and Twitch streamer for 1 whole year. So in that period, I made around like 200-ish videos in my first year, which is pretty good considering I also streamed for like 396 hours. So that combination's a pretty decent one with a lot of time invested considering how much some of these videos take to make. But first year, 200 videos, 1.7 million views. That's pretty good for a first year. 148,000 hours of watch time, and gained 12.2 thousand subscribers. So from 10,000 to 22,000. And then of course, the biggest number, the number you guys were all here for. In the first year, drum roll, oh baby, we made $4,300, baby. Oh yes, that is the big time money we are all looking for. I mean, again, the money's not impressive, I know. I mean, if you told me I was gonna make $4,300 talking about Call of Duty, I'd take it. I mean, obviously that's only just YouTube. So on Twitch, I streamed for 396 hours and averaged a whole 13 viewers, baby. Things you love to see. And then gained 1,274 followers with 209 subscriptions, paid subscriptions, and a solid amount of donations as well. So over $1,000 were made on Twitch. So overall in year one, made somewhere around $5,300 with maybe another few hundred in sponsorships. So less than $6,000 for sure though. I mean, when it comes to hourly wage, not ideal. But when it comes to making an impact in the competitive community, that was definitely happening for sure. So that was always really rewarding to kind of get that feedback. That really motivated me to like, all right, we can do this. We can definitely make an impact here. My goal always was to be the hub of fandom for competitive COD, whether that was tips videos to improve at the game or gameplays to watch me play the game or predictions about pro COD, and to give the people who watched me an opportunity to do things that I wish I could have done, like compete in tournaments or leagues in the future as well. So after that first year, overall, even though the money wasn't there, there was still a lot of motivation on my part. And of course, at the end of that year was when COVID hit, March of 2020. That really threw a wrench in my 1 year plan. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it 1 year at a time and kind of decide what's it looking like at that point. With not very many other opportunities really open at that point, I'm like, are you guys good with me staying for maybe 1 more year and figuring out what that would look like? And they were down for it. And so I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna double my efforts, go even harder this year to really make it happen. So from 2020 to 2021, I reevaluated a lot of the things that I was trying to do. And I wanted to engage the community more. So I started the first community league in Modern Warfare after already doing community tournaments in BO4. And Modern Warfare was a pretty popular game. And when the CDL playlist came out in the spring of 2020, that really helped my channel. As time went on, of course, we had Modern Warfare Champs all online. Then we have the launch of Cold War, and the tips videos at the beginning of Cold War were doing pretty well, but then the game started slowing down, and that's where things got a little bit interesting. So now we go from May 1st, 2020 to May 1st of 2020. I made somewhere in the vicinity of 215 videos during that time and had 3.1 million views on the channel. Pretty awesome. And then had about 334,000 hours watched and gained over 20,000 subscribers. So went from about 22,000 to about 42,000 in the competitive scene, which is really cool. It didn't fully double, but it nearly doubled during that time. And again, for the competitive Call of Duty scene, this basically put me at the biggest or second biggest channel. Me and Tactical Rab were kind of like, going back and forth at that time for who had the most subscribers in the competitive scene. But obviously Rab's the GOAT. Then again, the big number during that year, what did I make in 2021 or that year? Drum roll, bang! $9,800 on YouTube. And then as well, another few thousand in sponsorships. So I crossed over the $10,000 mark on YouTube. For me to say like in 1 calendar year, I made over $10,000 just on YouTube was really cool for me. A lot of people are like, that's embarrassing. I mean, $10,000, like, bro, you can make that working at Starbucks. You can do that flipping burgers. But again, for me, it was like, I could either make $40,000 or $35,000 working for like a minor league team, doing sales or marketing or something like that. Or I could gain skills as an entrepreneur in content creation, equipping myself for a future that I really want to build, and as well, giving myself upside with potential to make a lot more money in the future. Pretty cool, and that's why this got me pretty excited. Also during that year, made up some money like flipping sports cards and stuff like that. So overall, like financially, I was still doing all right, And then on Twitch, I streamed for 494 hours during that year, so a pretty decent amount of time. Averaged 33 viewers. So big growth over here on Twitch. Went from averaging 13 the year before to 33 this year. Pretty awesome growth. For me, that was really exciting to be able to play the game, people enjoying watching me play. Made actually some pretty good money that year on Twitch. Well, relatively, of course. Over $3,200 on Twitch that year, plus some good donations as well. Gained over 6,000 followers, over 1,200 subs as well. So a really good year on Twitch for me, and a year that I was really proud of and excited about streaming wise. Finally, let's talk about the last few months here. The last, 7 months or so since May of 2021. It's been a little bit slower, obviously, because the end of Cold War was a little bit slower from the attention aspect. Also, I don't think I was doing as well with innovating my content and exploring some new things or taking chances or risks with the content as much. And then this year, of course, Vanguard's been really slow since the first 2 weeks or so. So it hasn't been as easy, but 1.2 million views since then, 190,000 in watch hours, 4.1 thousand subs gained, around like $7,700 in ad revenue. And then on Twitch, 219 hours streamed, around 29 viewers. So not too much growth in the last 7 months on Twitch, which I haven't streamed as much though. And that's definitely been a problem to say the least. Around just over $1,000 made on Twitch as well. So pretty decent overall. So over $30,000 made in about 2.5 years of talking about competitive Call of Duty full time. Not to mention the Backseat Sports channel, which still does pretty well and has made a few $1,000s as well. And so those two combined with, you know, a few million views at this point is pretty cool. Even though it's not like some insane number that's gonna blow your mind. I'm not making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you know, YouTube is always an exponential growth. The bigger you get, the more money you make, and the more money you make, and the bigger you get, the bigger you're gonna get faster. And so it's a little bit tougher when you're in a niche like this with competitive Call of Duty, where it's a little bit tougher to grow. But overall, really happy with the growth of the channel. So now let's get into what really matters here. The things that are insanely important, the huge takeaways from YouTube over the last 2 years. And let me tell you, there are so many things I've learned. I feel like it's been a huge time of growth for me, and I'm still really trying to emphasize that. But the first thing is, freedom is unbelievably awesome. The ability to do what you want when you want, and if you are self-motivated and can set goals for yourself, it's really fulfilling. You can get really excited about the success, but at the same time, I really underestimated how stressful being a full-time content creator can be. And as awesome as the successes are, as equally deflating the failures are, or the losses can be. So you have to get really good at dealing with loss and almost getting excited about loss. That a loss means you can learn. So with that in mind, number 2 here is you have to really figure out how to play to your strengths, but also improving your weaknesses. And slowly but surely I'm doing that. Still working on it, obviously. By no means am I an unbelievable YouTuber. I still have a lot to learn and I can improve on. And whenever I watch Mr. Beast, I feel like an idiot. The third thing is really developing not just your courage, but your confidence in front of the camera. That stems from identifying the fears or the things that you fear to lose, almost like a Yoda quote.
Train yourself to let go of everything you fear to lose.
Actually address like the why. Why do you fear to lose those things? Or what scares you in life really helps free you to make better content and address life, and I think in a more fulfilling, better, interesting, fun way. The fourth thing now, is that 4? Is that YouTube is not easy. Even though some aspects of it are really fun and easy for me because it just comes naturally, at the same time, there's a lot of things that are hard and do feel like work. And it's not always gonna be based off your motivation or your passion for it. It's not always fun to get in there and do some small piece of editing or fix a small detail in a thumbnail, or you're tired, but you need to brainstorm the next day's video and then probably sketch out the thumbnail a little bit for it. It doesn't always come easy, but because you set a goal, pursuing that thing and loving the process is absolutely crucial. In that same sense, or maybe as a sub point to that point, is that I didn't do a good enough job of setting aside time in the last 2 years to improve myself. Realistically, I should have set it apart like 1 day a week where I like really dedicate my time to improving in one aspect. Like if this week is improving my editing, next week's improving my communication. And so it feels like I've been cramming in that information the past few months now after kind of realizing how important that was. Final few things here in a YouTube vein. Specifically, I mean, you've got to prioritize thumbnails and titles and the ideas that create those things. I didn't do a good enough job of that for a long time. You've really got to build videos from the top down. Got to get somebody to click on the thing before the video can even be good in the first place. So the final takeaway here, and this might be the biggest one of them all, and it's never stop creating for yourself. It really might have been the thing that I struggled with the most for a long time. At the end of the day, you always want to prioritize your audience. Like, what do people want to watch? What would be a good video idea? What would be a good thumbnail? What would be a good title? Why didn't this video work? Why did this video work? But at some point, you can drive yourself kind of crazy. You can kind of have like the Kanye or Britney Spears moment. You're like, yo, what is happening? Like, I'm losing full. I feel the pressure of trying to create good content. The other one was generally, it was because I lost some sort of perspective. Like, I got so wrapped up in that day or that week or that month that I lost sight of kind of my progress that I've already made, or lost track of like, oh yeah, it's because it's like January right now, like it is right now. Oh yeah, the COD League doesn't start for another month. and there's been nothing to talk about for a whole month. One thing that I wanted to at least mention that I could have easily done better was networking from the beginning. I was a terrible networker. At the end of the day, YouTube is YouTube, but really thinking about how many channels or groups of people dominate out there with the hype houses and the Sidemen and all of these other gaming channels, Carnage, Clan, and COD Scene. There's a reason why gaming organizations exist. Together is better than one, and I have not capitalized on that enough, and that's been a big problem of mine inside of content overall. And so it's really been crazy. It really has been a crazy run, and it's been a crazy video. So right here is a video you can watch. The history of COD, the video I'm most proud of on my channel. It's my most recent big video, and I really think it's cool. And I appreciate all of you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share if you guys really enjoyed it. And of course, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. But as always, guys, I'm your boy SalvationsElite, and we'll see you next time. I'm out.